Hollywood done penetrated the streets to the aspect of it's hard for niggas to be OG anymore.
Right.
You got niggas who are in our age group in line of who feel like being famous and popularity is more than the code of being just authentic. You get me? Especially if you claim to be one of those dudes. It seems like that narrative has left us. Like, niggas have forgotten, like, those codes. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Hush and don't talk too much. Not flossy and flashy and flamboyant. And niggas didn't want to be seen. You get that?
You said it.
It seems like you got more niggas in the older age group who want more celebrity and fame than trying to just keep the authenticity of being a nigga who's supposed to be a real nigga. How is that frowned upon? You get me? Because niggas, I don't know, niggas don't like real niggas today. You know, is it frowned upon to be a real nigga? Is it looked upon by you saying that you were from the streets and you know, abide by a certain code?
Mm-hmm.
Do they frown upon that shit today?
I don't think people frown upon. I just don't think they give a shit. I don't think they care. Like, all that stuff, I think, man, is out the window. Like, even when you start talking about snitching, how many people you don't see snitch and they come right back home and they back on the streets and doing what they do? They going about their business. And it's like, whenever you get, that's why I always...
That depends on where they...
Yeah, but see, I always be quick to tell people I don't gangbang, right? Yeah, right. But you got a lot of people who ain't from that world that's commenting on it now. That's what people want. Well, you got a bunch of people that don't know nothing about that. They up there calling people snitches who ain't really snitches, and they doing this. So you got a bunch of square people trying to play in the arena that they don't know nothing about.
And that was like they can't be checked because they behind the computer screen. That's what I mean by the WWF and the WWE commentary, because just hip-hop transition from one to the other, just like the WWF became the WWE. We saw that. I think one of the things culturally, crazy and gangster used to be separated. And you had a crazy nigga, that crazy nigga was going to be, sometimes they get dealt with. That wasn't allowed to exist. And then you got a gangster nigga that wouldn't want that around. Now, the crazy niggas is the niggas with the juice. Mm-hmm. When the crazier you are, the more they celebrate that. And it's like them wasn't ever the niggas that got to run nothing or make decisions. They got euthanized. And so it's different now. It ain't like that no more. And there's an argument that there's superior ways now. We got more conflict resolution, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, to me, I think we might have failed a generation. The fathers were under attack. The reason we failed them is because we was getting our ass whooped, among other things. And I think a lot of people was locked away who could have had voices. A lot of us ended up being in positions to be servants more so than to be masters, meaning that we're in control, the masters of our own destinies. So we didn't end up with the power structures that we should have by now, where the money that was generated by melanated people within this motherfucking industry was put in a way where the control and the power and the ability to dictate what occurred remained with those of us who were the tastemakers and the curators. So you end up with people who don't really give a fuck about the culture, making decisions that are impactful to the culture. And now it's about pleasing this algorithm more than it's about pleasing the statutes, what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. The tenets have been sacrificed and replaced by likes and clicks, and that's really what it is.
Still, as a podcaster, just as a person who deals with, the podcast world and creating content and all that, why do you think snitching was made like as the content, like we gotta like, because that was some shit. Like, even if I don't know, it was like a hidden thing. Like, niggas didn't talk about.
Yeah, it wasn't spoken
If a
about.
nigga went to court and somebody got on the stand, whatever, it wasn't like, oh, these niggas over here gonna talk about it, then we gonna go tell the hood over there, then we gonna go tell the hood over there, then we gonna go tell. It was like, that was like some under the table shit.
Why
is it popularized right now?
Yeah, but see, it was a time that you had to be qualified to say somebody was a snitch. You just couldn't go because, you know, what's some snitch to bust your head off?
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
You know?
It's a lot of them. It's levels to that shit. If you have to be able to present evidences and proof. It's the same way in Islam. If you're gonna bring a charge against your brother, it's the same way in the round table discussions within the hood. My neighborhood, we was born from y'all, from Compton Crips, gave birth to my neighborhood in the late 70s, early 80s. One was the ones who came out there. We are Ice Cube, my summer vacation, with the result of that migration that happened, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you have understanding of how we supposed to conduct ourselves and how we not supposed to conduct ourselves. And so there's ways that you're supposed to go about causing a roundtable discussion, and that's supposed to happen amongst the people who are directly impacted by that. And they got to say, if that person coming from something that cloth, then that's the responsibility of his cloth to handle their business. Everybody want everybody to take their phase. And now you got the gladiator, which to me, it's the Colosseum. We are in Rome, and Caesar is, they're sitting in their chairs, and Caesar is Mark Zuckerberg. Caesar is the nigga that owns Spotify. Caesar is, and they got these arenas. Caesar is some of these platforms that don't give a fuck if we live or die. Some of these, you know, it's a lot going on. They want to exploit the culture, and they thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you kill him or do you not kill him? They want blood. They want death and destruction. That's what they're paying to see. And so we haven't all accepted it, but we could watch them. We could watch the results of that. They want to build you up, put you in the Coliseum, release a lion on you, watch you fight that lion to the death, see you die, deify you, put you on a T-shirt, put you on a lunch pail, put you on a motherfucking sticker, put you in a video game, put your music everywhere, and pay your mama 0.05 cents per stream, 1,500 streams to equal one sale. You know what I mean? They want to do us like that. So, yeah, and it's bigger than just even what's going on with the artists themselves. It's a machine, the entire Coliseum, and the people getting thrown out there, motherfuckers who are trying to change their lives. So they willing to fight the lion. They willing to try and do that. But you, as a result of that, you pop smoke. You're PNB Rock. You end up being these kids out here. That other youngster in Florida, we old.
Do niggas be feeling this their responsibility to let you know who snitched or not? Is that the responsibility of the real nigga today? You know,
I think everybody got to decide what is the best thing for their individual experience. I think it's a decision to be made. Am I handling my business in a way that is going in a direction that is most beneficial for my family? And am I in somebody's business and I don't have no business in their business? Because this ain't my business. There's rules that apply to being in somebody's business, just like it's rules to apply if this man did do some bitch ass shit. If he did do that, who's responsible for that? Because that's the first thing you want to know. Because you can't do something to everybody. There's consequences for that. So it's like you got to find out what's what. And then it begs the question, why are you in this person's business?
Or you said earlier, that should be the man that was impacted and his people's responsibility. It don't have nothing to do with you. I was always told it don't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah, but that don't service the Coliseum. The Coliseum want to eat them alive, and they want them to eat each other alive. So
niggas need those clicks, man.
Yeah, as long as it's them.
It just puzzles me for dudes who consider themselves to be of a certain way of life, or I came from that, or that walk, or that code. It just puzzles me. Everybody wants things. You get me? the codes of the shit I learned is like forgotten about today, because you got dudes who feel like it's my business to let you know that so and so told on a nigga 20 years ago, or so and so told on a nigga 15 years ago, or it's my business to let you know that. It just puzzles me, because I thought that being from, and you know, it could be wrong because of the time and the era of what today is, because of what all this shit is. You getting lights, camera, action. And niggas want to get paid. You get the authenticity of being from the streets has been forgotten, because I can make a check, nigga. You feel me?
Yeah, I
can get followers, I can get clicks and views, and it just puzzles me, because there's certain things that you're supposed to be able to hold true, and especially for a man. I just think like niggas just forgotten about that code of what is and what isn't, you know.
Yeah.
If you fall into that lifestyle of having to create content, you get me?
Right.
And like I told you, that shit puzzles me. Like, what do you mean? Create some content. Nigga, we just sit up and talk to the homies and try to have just conversations about shit. We don't sit up and get in a circle on the round table before the show start and go, so what we gonna come up with today?
Right.
It mean like
creating content.
That like we don't like that shit puzzles me, man.
Yeah, we vibe.
It's on that.
We vibing. Vibing is different than creating content. Vibing and capturing moments is a superior thing. And I think that there was more authenticity in the culture back when we were doing that. We were just catching vibes, and we were spitting about what we was really dealing with. It's just the Hunger Games now. It's all just a reality TV show, and a person get enough popularity to make them a couple bucks. It's a vocational opportunity now to tear somebody down, to be in somebody else's business. And it just was a time in life where that wasn't a permissible thing to do. Everybody comes, used to come. And this is a problem, because motherfuckers is faking where they from. They faking their neighborhoods. They faking that they come from representing something. Like, I got a founding father from Guard Block here and my baby boy. So we got 3 generations of my neighborhood in this room.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got motherfuckers that can't tell you a motherfucker 2 years older than them from their neighborhood. Who your big homie? You got a 25-year-old nigga telling him, pointing at a nigga that's 28. Like, how long the fuck did y'all exist? Who the fuck is it be? Where you growing state? We can't even find out where these niggas is from, because they not from nothing. And so who can teach nothing to nothing? You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of fake-ass bullshit or some Hollywood shit. And I mean, that's okay, but they get carried away with it. Some of them, they getting themselves clapped up and killed over them likes and clicks.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of shit I wanted to talk to you about. So I'm going to try to breeze through it a little bit. When you was locked up, and then I'm going to get out the locked up phase.
So you
was releasing albums and shit.
On the set. Yeah, I was playing.
All over a phone.
On Billboard charts.
On Billboard charts. And I saw that shit, that tripped me out. I said, man, this nigga's just walking around the streets free. You can't throw the album out. This man releasing stuff free as hell. So, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas could end motherfucking CDs away.
I know I was in jail doing it, man. What possessed you to think that you was going to be able to get away with that stuff? Well, you did get away with it.
Indeed, I did. I was possessed by, I lived that shit the same way that we talking about. The same way that kid that was in the projects, and I used to crawl out my window and go down the stairs and be down there with the homies. You know, that kid that just wanted the homie to pop his trunk on his 6'4". I remember Tiny from PJs used to come out there to the hood, and Donkey Kong from PJs, all them niggas, Wino from Grape Street. The niggas used to be out there in sec, and we used to fuck with them niggas. And so I remember niggas that popped the trunk, and you know, all the homies from the block, everybody would be outside, and they'd be slapping Parliament, and niggas just to catch a vibe, and the homies is just spitting. It's hella niggas that could spit. And it would just be, you know, we got the hood raps. When you really from the streets and you really from some shit, like we got hood raps. and go on block. Nigga then rewrote the Gilligan's Island theme. You know what I mean? And nigga then we got all that type of shit when you have history. So I was vibing, and I feel like I lived hip hop. Hip hop was a part of the fabric. It was an attribute of my personality and just a part of the fabric of who I am as a human being. It's being in the house from Midnight Star, Atlantic Star, with you know what I mean? Planet Rock days, The Message, Rappers Delight. I lived it. Here comes Run DMC, here comes LL, here comes Rakim, we Toddy T, nigga, Battle Ram, nigga, here comes 6 in the morning, here comes Colors. Like, I remember the stages of that shit, and it's just in my DNA.